If you wouldn't mind muting it until.
Microphone test. Can anyone hear me?
Hear you.
Yep, we can hear you.
How unfortunate, but thank you. It was a joke, guys.
Party har har har.
There it is. Oh, I heard somebody who said, "Hey, bravo." I think that's my biggest fan.
What's up, bro?
You can't see me right now, but I'm throwing you the shaka, brother.
This meeting.
So this is turned on.
Hello, buddy. Thank you for coming. I was gonna say, I think we can get the recording here, Karen, if you figure it out, cool. If not. Okay, so I'm going to call this continuation of the meeting last night to order. It is February 27th, 2026, and 7:02 p.m. Roll call, Kirk Bronzer.
Present.
I'm gonna go to Bill. Bill.
Present.
And they have present, Trent. Thank you. All right, we have a quorum. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic that stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. So the continuation of last night's meeting, there were. Sorry about set aside the paper you. Okay, so 7.6 would be our next item. That is issue people eliminate old 202 policy, rewrite compensation benefits. That's Bill.
Yeah, we did half of that last night. Somebody's making comments online.
If those online wouldn't mind muting, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
One did. Dave's phone is not.
We still have Dave's phone, if you wouldn't mind muting. Thank you. All right, so Bill.
Okay, I mean, last night we did 1048 and that was approved. But the second part was eliminate the old 2-02. So we just have to say officially that 2-02 has been superseded, replaced. It needs to go away. I'm trying to find the actual pages.
So, do I have a motion to eliminate the old 202? Since we approved the 1048 to
If Bill is talking, we can't hear him. Board, can you hear me? Raise your hand. God damn it.
So they are aware of technical issues. That was me on the phone with Linnea just now. So they're working through it.
To that. Okay, let's see. Does
Loud and clear.
this help
Yeah.
you guys online?
We can hear you now.
Someone said they can hear this. Someone said, yeah, from somebody there. Let me check. That's tough.
Maria still has your hand up. The camera's going.
Yeah, can I see our name screen?
Yeah, it should be on the chat.
I'm trying to see.
Oh, okay, so we have audio. There, yes, I have people that texted me, and yes, they can hear.
So they can hear now?
Yeah, the ones that I know. of.
Okay, okay, good, okay. So hands are down now. Okay, here we go. We are on 7.7.
We're on 7.8. 7.7 was the operations, or 7.7 was the operations procedure information that you covered last night.
7.6.
Is what we just did.
7. This was right.
This is saying that's the one we did last night. As we vote for the.
This is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, but that was to make it just a procedure as opposed to.
Okay, this is,
It's the one where you held off the operational types policies. You talked about them and said that the staff had not.
okay, so 7.7 is mine and,
Correct.
okay,
So this is 7.8.
no.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's 7.7.
sorry, Trent.
We just did 6.
Okay, everybody, we just did 7.6. We're gonna do 7.7, go in order.
Well, you can do 7.7 again if you want to, but we did 7.6 in conjunction with the 1048 change in policy, right?
And we changed,
But this is a completely different one. This is your
Okay.
issue. It's a completely different one.
Great, so we just did 7.6. Let's go ahead and have Bill go through 7.7. We'll see where we're at.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we'll move
see,
forward.
my confusion on this is the 202 thing got added in there. It's supposed to just be cleanup of old policies from 2020.
So 7.
The whole 202 wasn't even supposed to be there. It was supposed to be in 7.6. So, because
Great.
there's a long list of things that like 29 different policies
Okay.
from 401 through 413. 5.1 through 5.10 and 6.1 through 6.06. All the stuff dated from 2019. And my motion is to state officially that the board is striking, eliminating all of the above policies. It's like 29.
We can revote, but I think we did this last night and did actually have a motion second and.
Not that I'm aware of, but I've been known to forget things.
Okay, so procedurally, we have a motion. I'll second it. It doesn't sound like we need comment here, but does anybody in the audience or online have any comments about striking the old policies from 2019? Okay, seeing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. That's a full, those opposed. And so that is a vote, and we will move on now to Trent for 7.8.
Well, the outcome of this essentially be the same outcome as what was voted on in the 7.6 item. But the point of that is the issue is of policy 1048 occurred several months prior to this activity. So it's been basically replaced or displaced when it was put into lexicon. I just want to clarify that. That is the arrangement of when a policy replaces a policy that was in the old system. The old system policy is superseded. It's no longer in effect.
As long as it's superseded, yes.
Correct.
So no action.
No action.
taken. So-
The action's already been completed.
Perfect.
Question, is that actually a policy?
Pardon?
Is it that actually a policy or something to put into lexical and it supersedes something
Yeah,
else? It's actually written down.
Yeah, 1048 is the one that we had all the conversation about last night with the job description
He's asking specific.
It seems specific.
For any,
If something goes into, a policy goes into lexical, it is written down somewhere where it says that it is superseded.
Gotta get you on the mic.
we appreciate you guys bearing with us.
Sorry, I was asking if there was actually a policy that said that if a new policy is put into lexical, it supersedes the old policy.
Policy, or it says you can't hear, so.
And Scott Robles got his hand up too.
Policy 103. Policy 103, which is titled Policy Manual, describes that. So yes,
I'll read that.
Policy 103 states,
That's right.
if the policy is superseded, then it's no longer valid. The whole issue with the 2-02 was apparently nobody had ever said the SSD blanket blanks were superseded and eliminated. And that's the reason why it was used to create positions that we then have now put into 1048. And we put into 1048 a section that actually specifically states SSD, and I can't remember what this, I think it's like battalion chief SSD, administrative assistant SSD, direct something, I think, are all in there. And these positions are eliminated / struck.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It's a reasonable point to make. The whole table got replaced with a new table twice subsequent to it being in Mexico. So if you're telling me that you don't think that a given line item or a given reference in a previous policy that didn't get duplicated is still active, that's going to be a difficulty.
So, thank you, Trent. We have already cleaned that up. Moot point, but yes. Let's move on for the sake of efficiency. 7.13, Trent.
We did not do 7-11.
Oh, says I was one of the ones I got with it. He said it's still.
Right, 7-11.
Okay, 7-11 is the readout. This is the readout from the attorney consultation with regard to the use of the facilities and grounds appeal. Policy 1108, use of district facilities and grounds, along with the issue paper facility use request appeal presented at the January 22nd, 2026 board meeting, was reviewed with legal counsel. 2 concerns were presented for legal guidance. These are the exact questions asked. With regard to section 1108.3B, does the MFPD Board of Directors have the authority to review an appeal of a denied request by a requesting party at a properly noticed public meeting and make a final decision on the facility use request? I'm not quoting his response, I'm paraphrasing it. Yes, a properly presented appeal can be considered by the MFPD Board in an open session and a final decision made. The second question was, in this case, the event request was granted, but the request to conduct bingo at the event with proper state and local authorizations was denied. The appeal was regarding the statement of the acting fire chief that bingo would not be allowed for any event requests. Given that the requesting party is interested in knowing if bingo will be allowed at future events, can an appeal be made under this use of district facilities and grounds policy with regard to the allowable future event activity at the facility? Again, the basic response was yes, but the request for allowing bingo should be made for a future event and be made in time to allow for a decision by the chief and then be appealed to the board if the request was made to the chief is denied. And so in addition to responding to these 2 concerns, the attorney also recommended that any organization wishing to conduct fundraising bingo complete the required registration with the Attorney General's Charity Registry and meet all state and local permitting requirements. So to assure all board members are familiar with the use of district facilities and grounds policy to include the ability for requesting individuals or organizations the right to appeal to the board. And also to assure that the Mosquito District Auxiliary is aware of the attorney's responses to the facility use appeal and required registration and permit. So for transparency, as agreed to do, I met with the DAX board members prior to the attorney's consultation to ensure their concerns would be addressed, and then again conveyed the information as requested by the attorney relative to permitting and registration. But also, though, however, an organization who doesn't do proper permitting and registration, then he basically expressed that he doesn't feel there would be direct consequences for the fire district. Comment on the attorney's favorable, basically a comment from my perspective on this was, I didn't hear anything from his perspective that he felt like charitable bingo being conducted in the fire station had any legal or impacts from any perspective, from a legal perspective. So with that, I think that was his conveyance.
Comment.
Let's go ahead, Phil.
Two things. One is in the statement, you're stating a lot of things that were never brought forward to evidence. You're stating that they had all the necessary paperwork for this. The board never saw any of that paperwork. You saw a person stand over there and wave some papers in the air. McCarthy did a lot of that. If we do not get presented the papers, we cannot evaluate what the contents are or anything else about it. Secondly, is issue paper was not to hear an appeal. It was to solicit an appeal. I don't see it's the board's job to go out and say, oh, please appeal this. It's not our job to be soliciting. Our job is to review the evidence that's brought in front of us and take said action. And the third item is the same thing I brought up at that meeting before, is we need to set down a set procedure, what we call policy, but it doesn't matter. We need to have a set thing we need to do for how to do an appeal. What order things are done in, because we have it for grievance, but we don't have it for this particular thing. I think,
Okay, thank you very much, Phil. Do I have any other comments? Okay, we're not here to go back and forth.
My
He's
hand is
expressed
up.
his opinion, you have expressed yours. I'd like to move forward. So Kirk, do you have anything to say?
we have two on one.
I'm going to stop.
I'm running this meeting and I state
I'm going to respond to him because I'm going to correct what he suggested.
out of order. You were out of order. He did not sit there and correct you. You had your time, he had his time. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead.
The public deserves to know the truth.
The truth is considered subjective at this point from either person sitting beside me. So right now, I'm gonna go to the hands online. I have Bravo, please, go ahead.
At no point did Director Williams ever approach me about any of this regarding.
He's talking.
Oh, hang on.
Can you guys hear me?
Volume's all the way up.
Not yet. I know.
Can you hear me?
Try again.
I can hear you on the one next to the speaker. They can't hear you at the laptop.
No me gusta.
Well, pick a microphone right next to that.
Yeah, can you put that one? Thank you.
Try talking.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
At no point did Director Williams.
Hold on.
Oh,
Can't hear.
híjole. No me gusta.
Check.
¿Yo hablo inglés?
Where's my?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
¿Dónde está?
Try that.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can, thank you.
Bella Reeve can hear me. He just told me to speak in English. So, at no point did Director Williams ever approach me about anything regarding the refusal to allow bingo in the fire station. And again, I can't help but scratch my head to reiterate what I said last night about what our primary safety net should be with this board. This board should be putting the fire district first, the firefighters second, the community third. If the fire commissioners put the district first and the firefighters first, then the community is best served because they know they're supported. I again tell you that the day that you put paid firefighters inside that fire station, it ceased to be a volunteer fire station. And you're continuing to carry the flag of organizations whose support is welcome within the organization, but opens us up to intentional and unintentional consequences for the actions of allowing bingo and other type of gambling games, whether allowed or not, inside the firehouse based on law. Furthermore, the application that was presented by DAX to the county of El Dorado through a conversation that I had with the county was that they were approved by us and they never were. So the application was falsified. I'm not saying anybody lied because I'm not going to accuse anybody, but permission was never granted to have these games in the fire station. You are fighting for an organization. You are not fighting for the fire district. And you really need to have a gut check to figure out why you're sitting at that table and representing this district.
Okay, thank you very much. We're gonna go to the next online comment. I am running this meeting, Director Williams. We are about to go to our other comments.
To accept this, I refuse to accept it. You are going to have an individual communicate incorrect information about me.
You were able to communicate.
I didn't know he was going to bring up incorrect information against me.
Trent.
And he's also making
You will have
an interpretation of the fact that he thinks I will vote in favor of a bingo at this place. He's suggesting that he thinks I will be doing that.
Okay.
He doesn't know that.
Okay, you've expressed that. Thank you.
And I am purely just trying to enforce the policy that's in place in our system. I just presented to the council at the request of the board to confirm whether our policy
Yes,
allowed for an appeal.
indeed.
And that's exactly what I did.
And you've confirmed it. Thank you very much. We are at the point of taking comment. I have another comment online. Go ahead, Donnie.
Hi, this is Johnny Valenzuela. I really appreciate Director Williams' comment regarding the community's, that the community deserves to know the truth. And that's the most profound statement I've ever heard him say. And I've known Trent since 2018. So I really appreciate that statement, and I'm happy to see that cultural shift, Trent. But I do agree with Director Linnea, and she did say that truth seems to be subjective depending on who it is, but I guess that will come out in time. So one thing that I want to do say is regarding bingo activities is, has anyone provided a cost benefit analysis of bingo activities for this community? For example, how much has bingo raised in this community in the last 15 years? Does anybody have any figure or any kind of documentation of these activities as fundraisers and how they performed? Because the only records I could find of bingo in this community was a net loss of nearly $14,000 of community funds. End of my statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have anybody else? Your hand is down now. Let's go to D. Magdaleno. Did you want to speak, D. Magdaleno? I'm no longer seeing a hand, so we will move on. There's no vote needed on that. It was a readout. So we will move on to 7.13. Director Williams.
Okay, the following agenda actions remain to be completed by the policy ad hoc committee. Review of 11 policies past the 2-year review requirement. And I do need to update that based on the fact that since we have pulled forward or acknowledged, I guess I should say, that the old policies still are effective, and they always have been, they have well past their review dates. So there's, I think, 22 total there. So we're talking about a good number of items to be reviewed yet. We also were asked to update the policy 101 chief executive officer and to update policy 212 physical asset management was in this, in works. Clarification of committee member qualifications is needed based on criteria communicated in the January board meeting. I guess I feel like we're kind of in limbo state based on the conversation we had about what we think the stated requirements are for the various organizations and outside consultations. So I very much hope that we can get that. And I do think that still needs to be addressed, since I think, if I understood correctly, we do plan to still have consultation information coming forward relative to this. And if we do that, we definitely need to be doing it in accordance with the policy. So we need to define committee member qualifications and restore the lexical administration rights to committee lead. And I want to make sure that when that communication to the council does occur, that the comment was clear, and I did listen to this audio again this morning, relative to the statements made by the president and vice president at the meeting last time, that a resolution was necessary, if I understood this correctly, in this conversation relative to the presentation of committee formation. I guess I'm kind of surprised you did not recall it. It was fairly lengthy. You guys had kind of an offside commentary about it first, and I had asked what you maybe have been talking about, and you did bring it up again about the fact that there was. Did I misunderstand that that was a resolution requirement stated from somebody for creating committees?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this whole point about resolution is something you brought up the other night. I'm still not aware of it. You can point it to me in the tape. I'll go back and listen to the tape, but I'm not personally remembering. As far as the policies, this only be dealt with in the ad hoc policy. We were assigned those policies at that time that were in lexical, that were more than 2 years old,
Right.
of which we have done all of them except for 212, which still needs to be done. And we were assigned, I think it was December, January, policy 101, which was the old 3-1, I think it was, the chief's duties. And then last night we added to the ad hoc committee 1054 and 1108. Now, I agree there are still many more policies that need to be done because there's policies that have exceeded the 2-year limit since we started the ad hoc process. And there's policies that date back from 2019 that still need to be touched. But my understanding that those were not assigned to the ad hoc committee when it was formed, and those will end up being dealt with by the policy committee, not the ad hoc committee, once that gets properly formed. And my understanding, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ad hoc committee is yourself and me, and just the two of us, with Bravo brought in for those things that deal with operations. And the rest of the stuff we talked about with civilian members and everything else was part of the full policy committee when that gets done, which the ad hoc is not the whole policy, it's just a quick ad hoc committee. In comment.
Okay, so, correct, the ad hoc committee was created with a defined scope. Since then, we have, broadened that scope. And, I'm understanding that that's not completely kosher, but, we are gonna have to, figure out these procedural issues. And I will be talking about that in my director's comments. So the issue expressed by Trent was that we need to make sure that we know what needs to be done to create a committee, what is, the members are required, what is required of members, and all of that needs to get cleared up. So I will go into that in director's comments. It doesn't specifically pertain to this, so I'm not going to do that. But this was a status update. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you have one more comment?
I can just like, you can look, if you have the audio, Bill, you can look. I think if you go to 1 hour, 19 minutes and 24 seconds,
What date? 1 hour, 19 minutes?
24 seconds. That's where they come up.
And what date?
January 22nd.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's December 18th.
December 18th.
December 18th, but I do have December 18th. I do not have the January.
And we can make sure it's available on the website that's currently, so you can. All right, okay, so with that, we are going to, that concludes our issue items and.
Question.
Oh, yes, apologies. Bravo, please go ahead. I need to look that way every time.
So I have a quick question. I need clarification. We were on a call last night, Chief Bellerive and myself, and I apologize. We might have missed this, and I'm not trying to rehash old things. But is my understanding that the standing committee does not exist and we're continuing with ad hoc? Can you kind of clarify what's going on? Second question, with Ms. Rodriguez joining the board in the month of March after confirmation with the El Dorado County Board of Supervisors, maybe that would be a good time to get on the agenda to look at the committee assignments and establish an actual committee that's not ad hoc in terms of committee, in terms of policy, the policy committee itself. And that way we can have fruitful conversations that can be brought back to the full board for consideration moving forward.
Okay, are you ready for a little clarification? So,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, we did not create a standing committee last night. So I will make sure that the correctly formatted issue paper and resolution, whatever is needed, is brought to the March meeting, where we will be enthusiastically joined by our newest board member, Maria Rodriguez. And from that point, we will conclude, once the scope of the ad hoc committee is completed, we will conclude that as well. For that.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on our conversation last time, or at this, on this discussion item, the request was is to get the information that you received verbally from these guys, so we know what they're actually telling us with regard to how to do this. Is that the plan? Or do you already have any written information from the legal counsel?
Regarding how to create
Yes.
a committee and all
Yes.
that, so that's what I will talk about in director's comments.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you. Okay, do you have any other comment online in the room? Anyone? Wait, did you want to say something?
I kind of missed my hand on.
Oh.
Earlier.
Okay.
And I just didn't know if I could, if you want me to, I won't.
I don't
move on.
Can I give you 1 minute? Okay.
You don't even have to do that.
Okay,
We'll come back
thank you.
to Another time.
I appreciate that, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I want to be respectful and I really do want people to be able to speak and say what they need. And we need to be able to conclude meetings in one evening, and not have people.
And you were.
And I do want to see my kids before they go to bed, so thank you. There we go. We are going to adjourn, no more comments online. We're going to go ahead and adjourn to closed session. We will be back. In the meantime, we will be muting the audio on our Zoom feed.
And concerned citizen has come.
Oh, concerned citizen, please go ahead. I just like that name.
Thank you, Chairperson. Just a reminder, I did want to let you guys know that public comment is to be asked for before going into closed session. I also would like to point out a serious procedural error that I saw. The board is required to provide a brief general description of all items, including those in closed session. Legal communications is not a description. It is a vague category that tells the public nothing. Furthermore, Government Code Section 54954.5 provides the only safe harbor descriptions allowed for closed sessions. You failed to use that language. You are required to specify if this is existing litigation, anticipated litigation, potential litigation, so on and so forth, and provide the necessary case details or facts. There is no provision in the Brown Act for a closed session to discuss general legal communications. unless this involves one of the narrow litigation exceptions listed in section 54956.9. This discussion belongs in open session where the taxpayers can hear it. I request that the board correct this item on the record before moving into a private session. Thank you.
Thank you, concerned citizen. And yes, I do need to be getting these codes in and getting these descriptions better. So legal communications in this regard would be, let me think of my term. I need to use specific terminology. I guess it would be the things you said. It would be, it's not pending litigation, it's not litigation, it's none of that, but it is receiving complaint. Yeah, there we go, receiving complaint.
That's not allowed as per the Brown Act. So you need to either strike that off of the agenda or you need to have that discussion in open session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, concerned citizen. We will be striking that from the agenda because all of that went out to, okay. Then we've got the other one we do need to have in closed session. So I will take public comments. Yeah, I will take public comments and then we will adjourn to closed session. I have
On mobile.
what was that?
It says mobile.
MVLAI. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Meredith.
Oh my gosh. My brain.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
No, no problem. This is
Just-
Meredith Blaine, and I want to direct two comments on things that were said. The first by Chief Bravo. I want you to understand that Dax did not misrepresent anything to the county. I don't know what went on at the county level, but I do know what Dax has done, and Dax did not misrepresent anything to the county. And I'll remind you that Dax reached out to you about the county requirements, and your only response was that there would be no bingo at the firehouse. And Bill, I want to respond to you and say that Dax was not given an opportunity to present the approvals and permits that we had. And a comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I have any more comment before closed session? Bravo, go ahead.
Bravo, go ahead.
Bravo, it's you. Bravo, to have you to me to have that. Okay. At the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward and
I have a comment.
okay, go ahead. Is it pertaining to our closed session item?
It's in regards to last night's closure.
No, right now, comment is specifically devoted to the agenda item.
I'm here. Give me 1 second.
I want to hear things.
Please don't say that. We do want to hear what you have to say.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Somebody was saying.
It was Bravo. I'm here. I could not unmute. I apologize. I would like to reply to Mrs. Blaine's statement.
Okay, I appreciate that you want to Bravo, and I should not have allowed a statement from a different issue item. I apologize. I also had not called on Ms. Blaine when I was supposed to. So if it pertains to our closed session item, I would.
Negative. Continue.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your understanding. We are going to go ahead and close, adjourn to closed session for one item, and we'll return for a report out. Can you mute that? And then you, yeah.
We will resume in approximately 3 minutes.
All right, everybody online, everybody in person, we are back from closed session. Where did I put the report out? Further research is needed. Director Seidel and Intercam will reach out to legal as needed. With that, we will move into committee reports. 9.1 finance budget study session. Yeah.
We're definitely going to need to have a study workshop, probably sometime between the 12th and the 15th. Once I get the ED cats, we'll end up putting something together. I will have Star send out a announcement as to when the meeting is. As a general rule, those are after the 12th before we get the ED cats, and usually try to get things done before the 18th, because that's when we have to get things ready for the next board meeting. So as I know new dates, I will let you know.
Thank you very much.
Comment to that. There's an action on the monthly item list that the clerk has, the things that need to happen on certain months.
Mhm.
In March, in this meeting, we were supposed to set a date for the March budget meeting. I don't know what that meant. Past, whether that was a separate or that just become part of the regular board meeting, but it looks like it was a date separate from that. So I don't know if we need to set that date for March meeting. It was on. It's on my list.
That'd be something that Broadway Bell Reed would have to stage because they're in charge of the budget.
Right.
Probably get the ED cats organized first would be appropriate, so we have some numbers. We also have to look at what we're going to do as far as the engine. We have to look at the OES monies as to when they come in, because that's about 134,000 that's pending. I think at least 40,000 or so that's the equipment, which would probably end up paying for the engine once we get all that together.
Okay. So the problem is it's on the list that's supposed to be the board's actions. So I'm taking this as an action. We're supposed to set the date. Now, I don't disagree. We probably ought to consult with them as to what the date is.
Yeah.
But if set at the February meeting, you're supposed to set the date for this March budget meeting.
Right. So for future, we need to keep a close eye on that.
We can ask Bravo if he's got a date. Other than that, I don't think we can do much.
Yeah, I think let's go ahead and move on to director's comments. And then we'll start. Did you have director's comments?
Okay, well, the first one was that budget meeting that needs to get set, so take care of that. There's an ad hoc committee for software. And think we need to have that on our committee reports here, so we know what actually is taking place. It's been, I think, 2 months since that was formed, and nothing's happened.
It's been about 4 to 6 weeks since it's formed, and we haven't had a meeting yet. So, I mean, yes, it needs to get added to the list, but I think that's more for next meeting.
Well,
Yeah, so I need to,
it was done at the December meetings, I recall, December 18th.
okay, so,
It's for that number of time, but that's good.
yeah, so as far as making sure that we have that on the agenda, I will, make sure that we have that item. And that's software.
Okay.
Well, then you have the ad hoc for the policy committee on that too?
Yeah, we should. Okay, so that's where the stuff, so add. Okay, we need to get both of those on.
Yeah, I was gonna add it, or I
Yeah.
was check the ad on this one, but I had the item as an issue item anyway,
Right.
so I can make it necessary.
Okay.
And then I'd like to clarify just a question that you guys were asking me last night with why I was not sending information for agenda items to the president. And district board meeting policy 1201 states agenda items, the director or chief may place on the agenda an item for the board's consideration by submitting it to the board clerk in a timely manner, at least 7 days before the regular scheduled meeting. The item should include the designation as a discussion item or an action item. There's nothing about sending it to the president, copying from her, anything of that nature. So I was following the policy.
All right, thank you very much. So I have a couple things I need to talk about. One, we do need to set up one of the things that will help us to get so many of the questions answered that we have regarding meetings and committees and procedural aspects of things. We are going to hold an elected and appointed officials training. The funds for that are granted through our risk pool as well as employee risk management. So it's no cost to us, and we will have an attorney, Scott Farrow from Lever Football Cassidy up here to do it. But we do need to select 3 dates that the directors can be available to give to Mr. Farrow and to be able to, so he can pick one and we can do it. I'd like to do it sooner rather than later so that we can get these things answered without additional legal resources. And then what was the other? Yeah, so I'm gonna need 3 dates on that, and as soon as possible, like the sooner the better. So if my board can please send me. Actually, no, we need to come up with 3 right now because I need to be able to.
Or one of the board members that was,
You said.
but the board member that was online
Is no longer.
is no longer online.
No, we're at least.
She's there.
Yep.
That's Meredith has her hand up. And Meredith's got a hand up. She wants to come on your director's comments.
Okay, this is direct time for director's comments, so I'm gonna leave it at that, but I do need to get, Maria, so that you can hear, the dates that we're talking about. If you have conflicts, will you please let me know? So, Bill, you said you're relatively open.
At this point, I'm pretty much open.
Okay, and then, I do know we need to be mindful of Kirk's full-time job, for weekends, so Saturdays and Sundays are kind of out of the question on that. I know we also have some constraints with your schedule as well. So I would suggest, during the week and, Maria, are there specific weekdays that are completely out? Or is there times like our mornings completely out or? Are you able to respond? Did you unmute the phone?
She's not there.
She just sent a message in it.
Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 AM to 4 PM. Okay.
Unavailable those days.
Those are no goes, unavailable. So, Thursdays are good for you. I'm assuming then. Yes, okay, so, Thursday mornings, but not, what are the dates that you can't?
That probably would be good.
Okay, so what, and at time in the morning, is 10 a.m. okay? Is,
We make 11.
you want it 11?
Yeah, that way I can still do.
Oh.
That's all right.
It's Thursday night, no, it's gonna be, it's a 3-hour training.
That's fine. That's fine. If we started at 11, we'll be good.
Okay, okay, so, anytime Thursday works for me, so let me pull up my calendar quickly. If we can look at.
Well, thanks, that's good for being awake.
Right, so. The 12th is probably not good. Right, so it's too soon, 19th, 26th. Is our board meeting. So I think the 19th would be good. She can't do Mondays and Wednesdays. Can you guys do Tuesday, the 24th?
Thursday.
I'm gonna ask because we can't, the 26th is our board. She said Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, so is Tuesday 10 or 11 a.m. also okay with you guys?
Tuesday, I'm wide open.
Okay, so let's, if we can, we'll go with the 19th. So Thursday, the 19th.
Okay, Tuesday the 19th or Thursday the 19th?
Sorry. Tuesday, we have to pick 3 dates. So Thursday, the 19th, Tuesday, the 24th. And then, did we also want to put Tuesday, the 17th as an option for him? Yeah, let's, if it's okay with you guys, let's do that. So
Tuesday, yes, Tuesday's work.
okay, let's do 17th, 19th, 24th, all at 11 a.m. All right, we will go for that and see what he comes back with. And so that will hopefully answer the lion's share of our questions. And then in regards, so we also have to call a special meeting because we've had the PG&E, what is that, the easement? Is that what you call it? Right. So the PG&E easement, we've delayed on our agenda because we're waiting on the contract signature to allow easement from Scapoa as well. So they are going to be signing they're going to be voting on that tomorrow. So we will need to hold a special meeting pretty shortly after that to go ahead and determine, go ahead and vote on that. So we will see what their vote is tomorrow. Then at last night's meeting, concerns were raised regarding the length and manageability of our agenda. This has been a recurring issue and we need to do better. As a reminder, we have an established protocol requiring all agenda items and supporting documents to be submitted by noon on the Wednesday prior to the meeting to ensure Brown Act compliance and allow adequate time to prepare clear and effective agendas. I must be included along with the board clerk on all submissions. Any items not submitted by Wednesday noon deadline or not copied to me will not be placed on the agenda without the chief's approval. As board chair, it is my responsibility to run efficient, productive meetings and ensure that we accomplish our business. Moving forward, I will be using the gavel to maintain order when discussions become argumentative or when participants speak over one another. We can and should have respectful, productive dialogue. Please also remember that public comment is an opportunity for the board to receive input for consideration. It is not a time for back and forth discussion. I am committed to consistently following these protocols so that our meetings are organized, efficient, and respectful, meetings that our board and community deserve. Thank you.
Good.
You've had your time for comment, and
I'm going to ask you a question. You said when I asked the question, can we address the legal aspect in regard to the policy committee formulations? You said I will be talking about that. How did you address it?
we are gonna have this training. The attorney who will tell us how we form committees, how we do.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want that, if you do that, you're not gonna have the answer that postponed us from making a decision last night about this and then we move forward. And I'm all with Bill. We need to make this happen. And to get the policy committee, standing policy committee in place, but you've got to get the information in order to do that. And I don't know you're gonna get the information out of that and have it be available. I will make it available for that meeting.
I will make sure that it gets on the agenda.
Okay.
And when the information is provided to us, when the questions are answered, that is a public meeting as well, because we will be having all directors present So from there, we can take that and put that into the agenda.
Okay, and with regard to your request, you are overstepping, as I pointed out, in the authorization of officer authorizations. You can ask for the copies, that's fine. You can ask for them. I'll be happy to give you a copy and send the information. But it's in policy otherwise. It would need to be an agenda item for that to be changed and suggested to be changed as a policy change to make it a required item. You are making a unilateral decision, and that is not an acceptable thing to do. It's a board decision.
Respectfully, director comments are director's comments, and no comments should be made against the director's comments. Point of order.
Thank you. Okay, so we're moving on to director comment.
Okay, my comment is that because the meeting's running longer, maybe we need to start earlier. So maybe we need to consider moving the meeting start times up either 6 or 6:30, which would give us another hour and a half hour. Because I prefer to talk longer, just because I want to make sure that everybody's had a chance to say their piece. I don't always have to agree with what's being said, but I think people have the right to say their piece. On you.
Or you have any director's comments?
I'm glad we got through this.
Me too. All right, with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Those opposed say, okay, it's like, wait, you really opposed to adjourn? Okay, that's a 4-0 vote, so adjourned. You guys are gonna hate that thing at the end of all of this.
I got thrown in my direction.